Southland has a big problem this season, and maybe they did last season. I don't know. This is my first season watching them, but that whole sucking in the first half shit has to go. They end up trying to press hard in the second half, and it won for them early on. Now it won't. It can't. And they've proven it. They're on a losing streak. I think it's a 3-game losing streak now. And I don't see them winning another game due to their, tactics. Flatly. They tried to push a little harder and towards the end of the first half, but there was already such a big gap. And every team has them set now. Every team knows what it is that they're going to try to do and how they're going to try to do it. They're consistent, but they aren't consistent the whole game. They're consistent in what they do from game to game, but not all game long. That's the problem. That's why they aren't going to win. It's that simple. You make yourself too predictable, you either have to be the best at it, or you are going to lose. Especially over a whole season, you are not making it to the playoffs, or not making it to the championship. It's just not going to happen. I don't care what you have to say, it doesn't happen like that usually. There's a few exceptions, but very, very rarely. So, I don't know what Southland is going to do coming up, but personally what I would suggest is get rid of the coaching staff. Gut it. Bring in all new coaching staff. If that doesn't work, start switching players. If you can, if you're able. Okay? That's where they're at. Because their coach teaches a style of play that doesn't work. Puts in a game plan that doesn't work. And has them foul warn that he knows doesn't work. That's proven not to work. That will never get you into the playoffs. Now maybe they had a worse team and now they're doing better this year than what they did last year. I have no idea. Alright? But from somebody's news perspective, there's other teams that just aren't consistent that lose due to that, right? Bay of Plenty is one. Right. They aggravate that living hell out of them. But they can win. They do have a style of play, and what they do is when they don't use their style of play, they lose. Okay. I get that. Southland has more of a problem than that. To me. Because they do have a style of play, and that's what gets them to lose. They do not deviate. If they deviate, they'd win more games. If they relied on players' actual strengths instead of what the coach wants their strengths to be, they'd win more games. Period. That is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have strong players. I'm not saying that they couldn't win games. I'm not saying that they don't have the ability to do great things. What I'm saying is the system that they're using doesn't allow them to. They have moments where they do. And that's usually what leads them to scoring. But you can't rely just on those kind of plays from those kind of players that go above and beyond because they are able to when others could thrive when the system was different. You get what I'm saying? So some people will blame the coaching. I flatly, openly do. It's their coaching. Their coaching sucks ass. Period, bar none, sucks ass. It's not a winning strategy. In any other sport, people will be calling for their damn heads. In hockey, they'd be saying, get this bum out of here. And they recycle coaches, okay? Like, they go through the coaches in the NHL or the coaches in the NHL, and every once in a while they add a new one in. But for the most part, they've been NHL coaches, so you get more to say. But even with that, even if Southland were to do something like that, and know what kind of style of play they're getting, it's still, anything's better than what they have now. Yeah. Auckland was looking weak. Auckland's looking better. County's Manukau is looking better than Southland. That's a problem, okay? With how the season started, that's a huge problem. I'm not saying that these teams haven't got better. I'm saying that Southland hasn't. Southland's just as good now as they were game 1, and that's the problem. Game 1, I think they won that one. And then that trend started showing up game 2, and I'm like, oh, this is the team that they are. This might sound like a rant. Maybe it is. And maybe it's just me hating on Southland, but I don't hate Southland. I hate the style of play. If Southland were to change the style of play next week, I might start rooting for them. And that's not a lie. That's not me being hyperbolic. I prefer style of play over teams. Period. I have preferred styles of play. And to me, I'm waiting for Southland to get a style of play. Because pushing hard in the second half is not a style of play. It's not. It is a defensive move usually that teams do because they have to, because they're losing in the first. But you make yourself lose in the first because you show that you can push in the second. That's where all this aggravation comes from. They know that they can win. They know who they can field. But they don't. I don't know if it's to save somebody's ego or whatever the hell, but they need to stop this shit. They want to win, they gotta go win. They know what to do to win. The coach knows what to do to win. Fire their coach. I know when I was growing up, people always said, don't try to take someone's livelihood from them. I'm not trying to. He can find another job, right? I don't know how much it pays, but he can probably find one that pays equal, hopefully. You know, I'm not saying ruin his life. I'm saying, you know, maybe make the lives of the 15 players on the pitch better. And everyone on the bench better. And everyone in the organization better. And I know I'm going to sound mean, but I don't care. It's better than having a jackass in charge that they currently fucking do. It's not like any little players are playing beyond their potential, which some coaches can get. It's like, how the hell did this guy do that? I don't know. I didn't think he was capable of it either, but apparently he is. He's getting these players to barely do what we know they can do. Yeah. I mean, that just is what it is.